Please excuse how choppy this video is. I filmed part of it in one part, I filmed part of it in another, but all together the message is all the same of Hazbin Hotel is kind of a roller coaster in some of the best ways, but also some of the worst ways, like Final Destination 3 type bad ways, you know? Hazbin Hotel is kind of one of those things that I have to hesitate with ever recommending to people, and I am no way digging in the entirety of the series. There are good moments, there is a lot of artistic passion, creation, work put into this, but there's just so many things that make it hard to totally enjoy it for what it is and totally be cool with all aspects to it, you know? And also, like, it's one of those things where it is making a breakthrough in a lot of different senses in terms of independent creation, in terms of queer animation, in terms of a lot of different things that we have to give it credit for. But that does not take away from the fact that there are a lot of things to do with it where it makes it feel like I'm gonna put it bluntly, if there were things that should have felt huge, but kind of the series shot itself in the foot with how it wrote it or executed it. It did not make sense. It felt very minor and insignificant. A lot of the powerful scenes just kind of were like, huh, you know? The Vaggie and Charlie scene is one of my favorite. Don't get me wrong. I love that scene. I think it means a lot. But I can also acknowledge that the setup for it was actually horrendous.
Fox is declaring a war, and Carmilla's right. I started it, and I'm a hypocrite, and my dreams are gonna die. Shut up, you know that I love you, but that's enough.
If my partner were to give me the response that Vaggie gave, I would not only break down further, I would get that partner and put them into a deeper ring of hell, because I couldn't do it. It could have even been as simple as a script change where Vaggie's trying to talk to Charlie and Charlie's doing her thing of spiraling and not listening, and Vaggie makes a joke saying, "Oh, what do I have to do? Sing so you can listen to me?" And then she breaks into song. Something like that. Something where it implies that there was effort to communicate to her, to listen to her, or anything else to segue into that more naturally, because it just felt so bad. It really did. There are so many plot holes, so many gaps, so many things that don't make sense, and there's not continuity. I can't pronounce. I don't quite love when a show or series bombards with left and right explanations to abilities and powers, and the Jujutsu Kaisen dance does this. I don't love that, but there are some times where I'm like, just give me a basic understanding to what you're doing and let me know that it exists, so when you pull it out, I'm not gonna be like, where did that come from? Like, I loved Vox's mind control, but that was not explained well. I love the abilities that Husk had, but that was also not explained. But I loved a lot of the abilities that were shown, but at the same time, there was kind of that feeling of it just continuously got pulled out of nowhere. I didn't even know Nifty was like an overlord to have powers. That was okay, cool. That's a little inconsistent. Season 1 also kind of implied that there is this power balance in Hell, but that power balance does not make any sense whatsoever. It is so inconsistent. One second the princess means something, the next second she doesn't. One second the overlord means something, the next second they don't. But yeah, the whole power thing doesn't make sense. I don't understand Princess of Hell only having fireworks as her powers. I don't understand why Lucifer... I don't understand a lot of these things. It doesn't make sense. When people question things, I'm also just like shrugging shoulders. I do not know. I wish I knew. I wish I could give you an answer to why Hazbin did that. I hate when a series relies so much on external interviews to explain what happened in the series. The show should be able to explain at least the fundamental aspects, the core aspects. I think it is valid that a lot of people don't understand certain characters or their motivations because the show doesn't show it. They shouldn't have to listen to an interview to explain it. It doesn't make sense. I don't agree with this. I should not have to get an instruction manual on how to eat a meal and enjoy it. I should just be able to eat the meal and enjoy it. I do not want a tutorial with my burger. I just want to eat the burger and the burger be fine. I just want that. It's fun that they're adding other characters. I also don't think that there's a need if you don't know how to work them into the story. If you can't naturally add them in where they make sense, don't add more characters. If you can barely manage the characters that you already have, maybe slow it down a little bit. I thought Baxter was fun, but I also thought Baxter doesn't really need to be here yet. Baxter barely had any explanation. It pissed me off to no end when they literally wrote a line saying, oh yeah, I just bonded with you guys off screen and now I'm like ride or die for you. And everyone's just gonna be like, oh, okay, like what does that... No, that made me so mad. I was so upset about it. I did not understand why they did that. And as interesting as all of the characters are, a lot of them do not have fleshed out personalities, do not have fleshed out backgrounds, even though the core element of their background is very interesting. I love Vaggie. She is one of my favorites. Vaggie, by far, should be one of the most interesting characters in the series. She's an angel that fell to hell and is working on this redemption plan, right? But she is so bland. All she is just support for Charlie. Charlie. And even her traumas of when she was working with Adam are just completely ignored and at most put in for like 20 seconds. At the most. The cockroaches got more time doing their little thing than Vaggie did with her trauma from long ago. But, oh well. And Vaggie, I'm sorry, you are now at the best a side piece that's kind of there and just offering support for the main female lead, who is Charlie. Who is also, not gonna lie, very hard to sympathize with. And I understand every series has to have the protagonists have their difficult moments, but it is very hard to sympathize with Charlie for a lot of the series because she doesn't have rational thought, good motivations, good executions of a lot of her things. Also, I'm going to say the biggest thing that really pissed me off for season 2 that I hope that they never do again is the fact that they had phones. They had phones in season 1. They could communicate with each other. They had phones in season 2. But all of a sudden, the first half of the entire season is basically Charlie freaking out because she has no way to communicate with the angels. But there are phones. Are you telling me that you never got the contact of these angels? Are you telling me you can't hit up your dad to contact them? There is no way to communicate to heaven when you guys have literal stupid phones that can text each other? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Tell me that wasn't a huge plot hole that was just never addressed or mentioned at any point in the story. Please. I don't understand. Why? Right now we're in the gap between season 2 and season 3, and there's a lot of hints of what's to come, and a lot of outright statements of representation that will soon be coming and brought up, and that's exciting, but also a very whole lot of concerning, because I will not lie, there has been some parts of Hazbin and Helava that were a little bit with how they wrote it in terms of the representation of certain things. So Alastor's asexuality being a huge thing in the next coming season is exciting, but also a little concerning, not going to lie. I hope the best for how they write it out, and obviously it can't be a 1-for-1, but I hope there's some similarity to how it felt with BoJack Horseman and Todd. I thought that was a great representation of asexuality that fit the show, that fit the storyline, and didn't feel incredibly out of place to the character or everything going on. So I hope that's the case. We'll see. I really hope that things are done well in the next coming seasons, but I'm rooting for it, and that's all I can say. And yeah, I don't want to say that it's doomed to fail though. I also don't want to say that the cast behind it, the team, even the creator have not put effort into it, because I know that they have. I just think that there's a lot to be worked on for the future in order for this series to overall come together to be a great series, which I think it has the potential to be, especially with the Broadway actors, the voice actors, the talent behind it are by far really good at what they do. It's just fleshing these things out and making it a meal that doesn't require instructions, and a roller coaster that doesn't make me feel like I'm gonna fall off at any second. That's all. I think that's the bare minimum. But anyway, yeah, that's my yap about Hazbin.